In July 1988, a Soviet-American children's camp was organized near the city of Tbilisi, capital of the Georgian Republic of the USSR. The motto of this camp was, "Children are the future of the planet." In this camp, we planned to teach children basic interrelations between human activities and nature, promote discussions on global problems, acquaint them with the history, culture and traditions of our nations, and just help them to get to know each other better. The camp of 1988 was only the first step in this direction. In order to go further, we think it would be best to organize a special, permanent camp which would be a prototype of human settlements of the future. There, the children will have opportunities to get acquainted with the latest achievements of the world science and technology, in particular with computer and communication technologies, self-sustainable agriculture, wasteless energy production and its efficient use, etc. Such a camp would provide a creative, intellectual environment on the basis of both the technologies of the future and the humanitarian values of the mankind. Living as one family in this creative environment, the children will learn how much they have in common and how many obligations they have together in the face of future generations. The government of the Georgian Republic has provided a beautiful site for the future camp in a wonderful corner of Georgia on the Shova Lake near an ancient Georgian village. At the present time, we are solving financial and organizational problems of this project. The video film you are going to see now was taped in the camp of 1988. The Soviet and American children lived together, had educational sessions, played sports games, visited places of interest. They had an unforgettable experience of destroying a real military rocket. They shared their concerns and aspirations and have become close friends. And I hope that they will remain friends forever.
The days of state in the Georgian Republic of the Soviet Union are over. The Georgian children are seeing off their American friends who are leaving for their homes. They have become real friends with the Soviet school children. Seeing this touching party, one can hardly believe that only 20 days ago, these children didn't know each other. Let us go back to the very beginning. Here's the first day of the American children on the Georgian land. First welcome of American students by Georgian students. The camp was located in a beautiful mountain area near the capital of the Georgian Republic.
Are you guys staying in that, where are you guys staying?
In the camp, the students were involved in many discussions. Most of the days began with educational activities, lectures, computer games, discussions on history of the Soviet Georgia, the USSR, and the USA.
She was
Tsarism collapses. So there's nobody to follow. So they
Still, technically, they'll probably never exercise it.
and so they just sort of like quit. And then in 1921, when the socialists came in,
I didn't understand at first when you talk, I couldn't understand when, never.
The schedule of the camp was full of excursions into many historical and cultural centers. The students got acquainted with Georgian urban areas. Here they are in Tbilisi, the capital of the Georgian Republic. In the camp, students had joint scientific seminars and discussed multiple problems. Among them were problems of joint space flights. The students discussed a hypothetical joint Soviet-American mission to Mars, and their best proposals were sent both to NASA and the Soviet Space Agency.
400 million kilometers between these two planets. First, which we need, there are some sentry spacecraft to the Mars origin. In this case, no, this is round. It is constant. It's always constant, yes. This is always
if your group use a space station or not use a space station to use forward.
They played computer simulation games which gave them knowledge of basic principles of interaction between human activities and environment.
You compare those figures, biologists can potentially estimate the amount of fish that could be caught per year if you do not deplete the fishing zone. So say Northwest Atlantic, the arrow means that if the total amount of catch goes up, then the amount of fish left goes down. This is the minus sign. If we go on, we see that if the amount of fish goes up, say, then the density of fish also goes up. And if the density of fish goes up, initially, if you remember that graph, initially if the density goes up,
The students were involved Together they watched an international basketball game between American professionals, Atlanta Hawks, and the Soviet national basketball team.
Going into Tbilisi. It's a beautiful little place, and I just liked being there, and the concert there was interesting, and dancing afterwards, and I liked being in Tbilisi. The best impression for me has probably been just the way that complete strangers have really welcomed us into their houses, and strangers on the street have given us gifts and things to remember Georgia from, because we, after our welcome by the group at camp, their hospitality was just overwhelming, but to see that that's just really characteristic of Georgia as a country is just really neat.
Unforgettable were the trips to Georgian rural areas. Georgia is the principal region in the USSR for producing wines. The students visited Kahitia with its famous vineyards. In the local church, they sing a religious song, glorifying the labor of peasants in the vineyard. And to this very song, they worked together with peasants in the local vineyard. After this, all the students were divided into 7 smaller Soviet American groups and visited 7 peasant households. They were treated to traditional Georgian foods and were taught how to cook popular foods of the Georgian cuisine.
Just please it. Yeah.
One can hardly remain seated, hearing exciting Georgian traditional music. Day of the student stay in Georgia, party leader of the Georgian Republic, Jumber Patiashvili, visited the camp and met with the students. By this time, one talented American girl already greeted him in the Georgian language.
ყველას ესტუმრა რესპუბლიკის ხელმძღვანელი, საქართველოს კომპარტიის ცენტრალური კომიტეტის პირველი მდივანი ჯუმბერ პატიაშვილი.
And some of the Americans even sang Georgian songs. trip to another rural area, Barjomi, famous for its mineral water springs, was full of unforgettable impressions of Georgian nature.